This is a special webinar today. The webinar today, this is May 25th, 2023, and this is a webinar on Object Trader Boss built for you. And as everyone should know, everything that's said and done at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, Forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar, other webinars I have, my live trading room or anything else with Viper Trading Systems should never be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? All right. Let me go ahead and tell you a little bit, since there's people in here that I've never seen the names before, and I've got some obviously that I've seen before too, but let's go ahead and go over a little bit about Viper Trading Systems, okay? Viper Trading Systems started in 2009, so basically been around a long time, you know, almost 14 years. Matter of fact, it is 14 years this spring, this summer, you know, basically is when Charles and I started it years ago. And Charles actually passed away in September of 2022. So I've been running Viper ever since then. We have automated quite a bit. Over that period of time, I've done a lot more automation with the website and the way we get in touch with people. Just to give you an example, if you've tried to get in touch with some of your big vendors out there, you usually have to kind of give them an email and hope they'll get back with you. Well, at Viper Trading Systems, you're as close as this chat right here. You can just click this little widget right here. And if you go into chat support and you need to get in touch with me, just put your phone number down so I can call you, put a little message, put your email address just in case you want emailed instead. And this actually will appear on my personal phone, my wife's personal phone, and even my son and daughter's personal phone, so that way you are taken care of quickly. I firmly believe in support. Support to me is one of the most important things that a company can have. And I've always felt that way. It's just a little bit more automated now than it used to be. You can also simply get on our contact page instead, you know, like I put John Doe anytime, anywhere US, and just put, you know, whatever you want to talk to me about. This also ends up on my, basically my email, and it also ends up on my personal cell phone, the wife's and the two children that are not children anymore. They're full-grown adults, and they kind of help me with quite a few things with the company. Okay, so basically anything you need, I help people put scripts on. I talk with people, you know, about anything from, you know, futures trading to whatever. Ninja problems, for instance. If you have a Ninja problem, you need some help with it, give me a shout. I'll be happy to help you with it, because I've done Ninja Trader since it was Ninja Trader 6, and that was 13 years ago when Ninja Trader 6 was out. And then it went to 6.5, then to 7, and then to 8. So we're chugging right along with that because we have our scripts in Ninja 8. Okay, now when you're with us, even if you're not with us as a member, but you're just simply, you know, on a trial, we've got a trial basically on our homepage. If you've never had the trial with us, just simply click a 7-day trial. If you haven't had a trial with some of the newer things on it, just let me know. If it kicks you out of a trial because you've had one recently, we can actually turn your trial off from before and then get you in, because I've got some new stuff that I think you'll really like, and I'll show some of that today. It's called Boss. And so anyway, this is our homepage. This is vipertradingsystems.com. Been in business since 2009. Our website, simply homepage. You've got a contact link for us. You've got a login if you happen to even want to watch some free videos or join a trial. Or if you're even a member with Viper Trading Systems, you actually use this same login right here. This will actually get you to your members area, and your members area is pretty much where our training starts. We've got your members area here. We've got the free video library. I keep this updated quite nicely. We even keep up with the latest scripts on the website, so you can always be updated with the most current. Right now, we're on BOSS 4, and I'll show that to you in just a moment. And then we even have our weekly links. I run a trading room 5 days a week. Every week, without fail, we open that room at about 10 minutes till 8 Central Time. That way you have the opportunity to have some really good trade calls called in real time, not after the fact, always in real time. And we try to get nicely green about that first hour. You know, I open that room at 7:50. By about 9 a.m., we're pretty much done. But I'll still call some other trades too in the room. Okay. But for instance, if you're even on a trial, you'll have this weekly link. You'll just simply click it. You'll see that I have a webinar on Monday nights right here. And then we have the live trading room. The trading room, you just simply click here and you register right here. This is through tomorrow, you know, because this is this week. When tomorrow goes past, obviously we'll change the link for next week. But this is our link even for the trading room tomorrow morning. Okay, so one thing about it, we're all about training though, because in my members area, we've got all kinds of videos. Okay, I do trainings on Monday night. I do some training during the week, even in the trading room. And for instance, this last webinar that's already updated for our members was as of 5/22/2023. So that was just 3 days ago. Okay. So I always keep up with that. And these are real easy to watch. You just simply click them and they'll play. Okay. Now let me show you a little bit about what I also like to do. How many of you, just real quick, how many of you are full-time traders? I won't mention any names or anything. How many of you are full-time? How many of you would love to be full-time? Or how many of you like to have some extra income? And then even another one, how many of you have been trying futures, but you're really not that good at it? Would like to get better. Okay, several coming in, like to get better. Full-time, good. Full-times, lots and lots of full-times, good. Part-time, got a full-time job, but part-time, that's fine too. Okay. So basically the whole idea is, how many of you know that if you looked into it, how many people lose at futures trading? Anybody? It would blow you away. Most people do not realize it, or they would probably keep their jobs, because it is way up there to the people that try and never make it. And I firmly believe that the reason they don't is because they just float from room to room. They try this, they try that, you know, the latest, greatest indicator, that type of thing. But the best thing to do is actually get in touch with a room that actually calls the trades in real time, so that you can get nicely green and turn off your machine every single day. Because we believe at Viper Trading Systems in calling trades in real time so that you can take the trade. And we have people all the time in the room, hey, I'm up 5 1/4, hey, I'm up 1,050, hey, I'm up 1,800. And then they stop. They don't just keep trading. You hit your goal. How many of you have hit good goals and then just kind of throw it all away because you think, wow, you know, I'm one of the best traders out there, and now I can just take another one, another one, another one. Yeah, it's like 95%. You're right, Jeff. About 95% of traders do not make it in futures trading. You know, that's huge. But what Charles and I set about years ago to do was to change that number drastically. Because if you can come into a room and you've got the proper tools to trade with, and you can get those trades and get into the real high percentiles of winners and throw your losers away quickly, you'll make money. And that's the key to it, it's making money. And when you can make money, you can even use other people's money, you know, because I'm sure a lot of you out there have heard of, you know, like Lilu and UProfit and Apex and, you know, EarnMax and Top Step Trader and all them. They actually will pay you to trade. So that works out really well for you, okay, especially with our system. Okay, so without further ado, let me show you a couple of things about our system. Bear with me a second. We'll go ahead and just go to a chart. Now, this looks kind of weird, doesn't it? This is a chart that I really like myself. I call it the webinar chart because I teach on this particular chart. Because when you get ready to trade, okay, every single morning, what too many people do is they follow the bars instead of following the trend. And the trend is extremely important, okay? If you will trade with the trend, you will find that you will do so much better in your trading. You just absolutely will not believe it. Because if you trade your trends, you're going to be on the right side of the trade. So when they start moving, you're not going to be against them, because that's a killer. If you're in the wrong side of the trade, they can take your stop in a heartbeat. Okay. Now, one thing also that I'd recommend, this is just a little heads up of what I personally do, and that is stay away from the news. Okay. For instance, if you're a gold trader, you do not want to trade the news at 7:30 in the morning Central Time, because you don't know if they're going to slap it, silly the other way than what you're going. So, stay away from the news. Wait for the news to happen. A couple of minutes goes by and then trade. Okay. Now, could you trade before the news? Absolutely. But when it gets close to this 7:28 or so, like right across here, for instance, I'll just draw a line right here. You pretty much want, that may be a black line. Let me see if it is. Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, it is. Let me change it to yellow so we can see that. Can't put black on a chart that's black. All right, see, there's your 7:28. So could you have traded this in that time? Sure. But when this little area right here happens, see that 7:30 right there? That's gold. Okay. Now notice that it went all the way. Let's go ahead and copy this one, and we'll paste it again right there. Let's see, paste. Whoop, I must have not hit paste. Well, I'll just bring it over instead. With a black chart, I can't see my cursor. All right, so this little area right here, you really just want to stay out of, because that's literally a two. Well, this is where you get out for the morning. This is where you stay out for the morning. And you really want to stay out till about right there, about 2 minutes after the news is what I usually personally do myself. And then you want to start diagnosing your chart. Okay. Now, I can tell you by just simply looking at this chart what it would take for me to get in the trade. Okay, this little bit right here is obviously at the news event. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to diagnose your chart. That's your news event right there. So I look at this exactly like this. If this decides to break up and pull back and kiss, I will look for a long. Okay, if this decides to break my lightning 3, and I've got lightning 3 on my chart by just simply clicking this right here, you got a high, you got a low, you got a higher high. So if they break this right here, I'm looking for shorts. And it's really that easy to look at this chart and tell which direction that you're going to go. Now, some people will end up trying to figure out which way it's going to go rather than actually seeing which way it's going to go. At Viper Trading Systems, we are retracement traders, okay? And when I say retracement trader, I mean that we're not going to be looking to get into a trade until it's thrusted and pulls back, okay? Now, do we take little breakout trades occasionally? Yes. But most of the time, you're going to really want to actually not do that. Let's go ahead and just draw this right here real quick. Okay, so I'm looking for a break like this or a break like this, and this is going to determine which way I'm going to take, okay? Because remember, we're in news right here, so we don't care about that, okay? Now, you want to wait till you kind of get around here, but I've already got in my mind what I'm going to do, okay? Now, if that changes in that minute and a half, I'll redraw. And I teach people to do this in real time in the room, even that trading room that I open 5 days a week. Okay, so let's look at the actual chart and see what's going on at 7:30ish. That's where we're actually interested in the chart. and let's look at it. All right, so here's your 730. See how this was all the way from Shotgun City, okay? Could you have made money doing that? Probably not, because when 730 came around, this literally shotgun here, 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 and then it stopped right in through there. But our scripts will now tell you which way we need to go. Because I drew on my chart, did you notice that I had on my chart, if it broke 1956.40, what did I say I'm looking for? I'm looking for shorts, okay? And notice that my background changes and everything. The beauty of our scripts is it's going to keep you on the right side of the trade, okay? Because if we get a stair-stepping midband like this, we're only looking for the downside. My midband changed to magenta color. I'm no longer looking for longs. Now keep in mind this was news, so this, you could have never gotten this. That was literally seconds, okay? So now we're just simply looking for a kiss and roll. Okay, so we have some indicators on our charts and some a strategy called Object Trader. Now, Object Trader has got a new little tool called Object Trader Boss that we can actually tell it, you know, where we want to take the trade. Okay, so let me show you this real quick. I'm going to go ahead and right-click on my chart, and I'm going to put Strategy on, and we're going to just put this on a chart. And this is called Object Trader right here. Now, Object Trader was designed with the trader in mind because, you know, frankly, if you can box in, we've got a little tool called Region, which is a box. We got a little tool called Region Auto, which is an auto region that'll actually draw every 2 bars. We've got a bar close trade. We've got a wedge trade. We've got a midband trade. Now, midband trade is a really good trade. We've also got another one called Predictor. Now, Predictor trade, the way it works is it will actually draw a region around these little ovals right here called a predictor. So for instance, if I wanted, say, since we're in a downtrend, I want an above predictor, which is resistance. So I would simply go to predictor above, like so. And then I can actually just tell it, well, you know what? I think I want you within like 2 ticks. I go short. And if it goes up inside the predictor, it will actually, as it rolls out of it, will fire the trade. Or if it just misses predictor by 2 ticks, it will also fire the trade. I can do this any way I want. Okay, now the way this is done, as soon as the bar closes, this will draw a little predictor. Well, actually it's already drawn this one, so it's going to draw another one. There it is right there. See how that predictor is right there? Now, what I need to do as a trader is just simply say, okay, I want like maybe a couple of contracts right there. See my predictor? Okay, and I've got me a nice little trade going, okay? Now I can move my stop in real time. I can do anything I want with this. As soon as I get to a profit target, I can even, you know, take whatever I want. You can simply, you know, take some off. I've only got one on right now. If we set this for what's called auto, let me show you here something. We'll just go for another predictor, but only if it draws. Because see, right now the predictor is way up here. See how the little box is? But as this stair steps down, this is going to predict those prices. And as it draws, like right now, I'm pretty much figuring it's going to draw right in through here because I'm looking left to trade the right. See, there's my little predictor right there. And if I've got this turned on, within 2 ticks, it'll actually fire another contract if it gets into that box or within 2 ticks and rolls over. See there? You just got yourself 2 more contracts by simply doing that little predictor trade like that. Isn't that cool? So what I did recently is I designed this so that predictors will draw and you can actually take these trades like this. Now, I also like to draw on my charts, and I can tell you where this would head up if they decided to go the other direction, and you can clearly see it. It's right there at that line. If they were to pop up and pull back and kiss, I'd head up. But aren't we still stair-stepping down right now? So why would we want to do anything except just hold on to our trade? Okay. Now, I want to show you something else that's pretty cool too. you just simply put your stop with the little micro swings. As they take out the previous low, you'll simply bring your stop down to those swings, okay? You can even control your stop like with mid-band. Let me show you how to do that. You simply go to power trend, go to mid-band, enable the trail, and it'll drop right to mid-band. And it'll follow mid-band until you get out of the trade, okay? I can even do it with what's called the lightning swing, which would put your stop about right here. Now watch, see how this drops to mid-band each time those bars close? That's going to get you the best trade that you can possibly imagine. And see, I've still got 2 left on, and I've got my stop in right there. Okay, what if I wanted to add another one at predictor? I just simply turn on predictor. Okay, now when you trade like this and you get up pretty nicely, just to give an example, let's say that you traded gold this morning. And I know a lot of my people did because I called some trades in gold this morning, but we don't open the room until 7:50. So this was a trade that I actually took after the room closed. And you just keep, now see, we're flat now. I didn't mean to do that, but anyway, that's decent, right? But what if you said, you know what? If you come up and do another predictor trade, I could actually get you again. Now I see this going up here. They haven't touched that. So I'm going to go a little higher on this one, and I'm only going to turn on looking left to trade to right. They haven't checked that swing yet. Okay. So I'm going to see if they'll come up there. And by doing this, I can wait till this comes inside my box instead to fire a trade. And I just missed that one, unfortunately. We'll see if we can get another one. Little predictor trade. Anyway, I won't belabor a lot of this, just showing you. But when we're a red background like this, okay, we are strictly looking for short retracement trades, okay? And you're going to find out that that does pretty well. Now, here in a moment, I'm going to show you the actual trade calls that I made in the room this morning. And I made them on gold, I made them on oil, and I made them on ES because I watched those 3 charts like a hawk in the room. Okay, so basically what you want to do is get ready for the next retracement trade. Now, we've got another feature on here called auto fib. This is pretty cool. See your swing here? You can actually use your auto fib. And since we're retracement traders, we don't want a trade that doesn't at least go back to, well, there's 38% right there. That's a fib number right there. And there's a swing right there. You really don't want it going much above that. So this is a little sweet spot for the next trade right here. Just a perfect little sweet spot for the next trade. And if it comes up into that area, by the way, we've got another tool that's pretty cool. I'll show it to you. It's called auto region. And with auto region, you can actually turn on a region that automatically prints every 2 bars. And what I do is I wait for it to come up to my fib number, one of these fib numbers, and then I'll turn on the box. And this is a pretty cool feature too. I'll show you how you can work this. So you notice that it's not doing anything right now. All right. See, it's kind of coming to mid-band right there, trying to roll over. Well, guess what? That was an entry right there. Could you turn this on and take that trade if it takes the box out? Absolutely. Matter of fact, we'll just go inside and outside. This is called a mid-band trade. Perfectly kissed a predictor. And this little box will only fire this trade if it goes down through the top of it. See there? Just like that. And that is a retracement trade based on a box that then rolls over. Okay. Now we teach this again in every webinar, but I'm going to show you a tool that I'm adding to Viper that I think you'll really like too, because I want to show you something. This will be part of everybody's little arsenal. Notice these little dots show up on this chart. See this little white dot shows up in real time on that bar. Shows up real time on that bar. You can actually take these trades the moment you see that little white dot appear. Okay. Now, where is your line in the sand long short? If you've been to my webinars and everything, right at this very moment. Well, this is still heading down so far, right? But watch and see if the next retracement doesn't give you that little white dot. Let's just see what it does here. You got to swing right across here. Your swing's right there. And I'm looking for a pullback into this little box. I'll teach you this looking left to trade the right because this flat works. There's your trade right there. Rolls over, you're in. See it right there? And I draw these, by the way, in real time in the room. You'll notice that this little box, you could actually even fire the trade. Now, I fired that one a little bit late, but that's where you would fire it right there on that second bar as it rolls over. But could you also add to it, put it on what's called auto? And every time that box gets touched, it'll fire all the way up to what's called your max contracts. Now, I can change the max contracts even on the fly if I want to, and it'll continue adding if I want it to. If I want to stop at 4, I can stop at 4. Okay. What if I wanted to take 1 off? I can actually just simply say, you know what, I've got 5 on, but I don't like this price action. If I change that to 4, it'll get rid of one of my targets, cuts me down to 4. What if I want to get rid of 1 more? Change that, takes 1 off. Beautiful little tool. Okay, this is called Object Trader, and this is some of the new features that I've added called Boss. Okay, so the script itself is called Boss 2, pardon me, Boss 4, and I'm getting ready to actually introduce Boss 5 because we're going to add these little dots. See how that got you in right there? This is pretty cool stuff. You'll find that you can get, if you'll wait for the trade to come to you, wait for the mid-band trade, there's your entry. Okay, there's another mid-band trade, there's your entry. There's a mid-band trade, went up a little higher, there's your entry. See there? And this does this in literal real time. Now, one thing I can tell you too is that you can always know which direction you're going to be heading on your chart. Okay. For instance, right now with a higher low, I expect if they take this out, they would head up. Okay. Now, will they? We don't know, but I can tell you this, that I'd be looking for a break there. But as long as it stays under there, I am looking for shorts only. Notice the color of my mid-band and everything. It's telling me that I'm looking for shorts only. Okay. Since we're retrace traders, what are we looking for? What I just explained? Well, look to the left to trade the right, and you'll find, well, matter of fact, we're still in because we left the auto on. We'll turn it off. But can anybody see pretty much where your next trade is on this chart? If you trade our system, I can tell you this, that when they haven't checked the swing, you can draw a line at it, and more than likely, if they'll burst down a little bit and then come back and kiss, which is called a retrace, they'll probably retrace right into, I can even tell you in real time, this is your swing here, and looking left to trade the right, that's your swing right there. They have not checked that swing on a pullback yet. So that is a sweet spot for a little trade right there. And that's all you got to do is draw on your charts, and you will see these trades over and over and over. Okay. With our stuff, you can get out of a trade at a given, if you want to just click the close button, you can. Okay. You can wait for another trade to come to you and take another one. This auto region that we've added just recently is actually a pretty cool tool, because what I do is I watch for the retrace and then I turn it on as it gets up around that mid band so that it actually will fire the trade. Okay. Now, one thing about Viper trading systems also that I firmly believe in, and that is offering everything that we've got with no gimmicks, no hassles, nothing like that. Everything that we've got, I'm gonna close that trade out because it's coming up to resistance. We'll just take it again. We'll take 1, See how it just kisses that area right there? Now, could I put my stop nice and tight on this? Absolutely, because I shouldn't go above there. See, because that's another swing to the left. And let's see, we're in 3. Let's just add one more. If it does it. Turn that on and it'll add a 4th one. Oh, we've got it at 3. Forgot about that. This will only do up to the maximum contracts you set up here. So anyway, I wasn't able to add a 4th one because I had this set at 3. This is set on the fly. This is a pretty cool feature. Okay. And anytime you get to the point that you want to stop for the day, just hit the close button. You're done. That's a double bottom, by the way. You could always get out of double bottom. Okay, now this is even before I open the room, but I'm going to show you something here, and let's see if you could actually tell which direction. Don't look at your charts, that's cheating. So let me go to 750. I'm going to fast forward this just a little bit, and I'm going to show you something here. This is about right here, right here, right when I open the room up, right here. All right, so now let me ask you a question. You're getting a low, you're getting a high, you're getting a higher low, but you haven't really got a trend change yet, okay? They did break the left side of the chart, so that's giving your first indication that they're heading up. But this is what we call a phantom trade right here, okay? But if they decide, can you clearly see on this chart that if they take out this swing right here, see your low, your high, your higher low, now will it be a higher low if it stays above here? Yes. And we watch for those higher lows. And watch what actually happened with gold. And I called this trade in the room, by the way. Let me just show you in fast time. See your higher low? Now, if you were in our room today, this trade was called, had a line drawn in the room. Matter of fact, the same line's drawn right now. We waited for the break and the kiss. We got that trade right there at 1943. We also got it at the mid-band. That's a mid-band trade right there. Now, mid-band trade, first time after a trend change, we have found to be about an 85% probability trade. Okay, so what if you missed all of this and you said, you know what, I didn't get any of that? Well, then diagnose your charts, because you've got a low here, a high here, like so, and you're looking for a pullback, but not lower than this. Because what's the definition of an uptrend? Anybody? Everybody will get that, right? Higher lows and higher highs. That's an uptrend. A downtrend would be just the opposite of that. So what does it take to get you into another trade? A retrace, right? So just watch for the retrace. What about drawing your fib right now from this point right here and just let the trade? You don't want to chase it. If you chase trades, you may make money, but you may lose money. So let's see what actually happened. I'm going to do this in fast motion again because I called this next trade too. See that trade right there? That is called a mid-band trade right there. Okay, where's our Fibonacci on this particular chart? Notice that it does it in real time. Notice that the Fibonacci is called an auto fib, so it actually walks with the trade and it keeps drawing your Fibonacci. So where's your 61? It's right there. Where's your 50%? It's right there. So is that a little sweet spot for a trade? Like literally right here in this little area as we speak, like so? It is, isn't it? Because that's 61% retracement on a thrust. That small of a thrust, I expect at least 50 to 61, okay? And you can get ready to take the trade. What if you said, you know what if I wanted to dip the toe with 1, but then I'm pretty sure that they might hit the 61 also? Could I just simply have a order sitting there at my 61? Well, I've got a feature in Object Trader Boss called Chart Trader. Well, I don't call it Chart Trader, that's Ninjas. But what if we just said, you know what, we're going to put a market if touched order right there, And if it touches that, we'll get in an extra one. We've got a swing down here, so I can pretty much trust this down to here for now anyway. Okay. But if it touches here, I'll go ahead and raise my stop. And we teach this particular way. But now watch this. This is actually pretty cool because this little green dot that shows up on this chart is pretty cool. I'll just show you what. See that little green dot right there and that little green dot right there? We actually got in 2 contracts right there, took that trade right there, and then we just went for the top and we went for higher, and you got you a monster nice trade. That was called live in the room, by the way. This isn't after the fact stuff. This is actually what's called in the room live. Is this another trade right here? Anybody? Well, look at your Fibonacci and see if it is. There's a 50 right there, and there's 61 right here. I'd be looking for a trade anywhere in this little box right here. Anybody trade this earlier? Watch your fibs, they're pretty good. See, there's 50. There's 50 again. How about a trade? Take it. See there? That trade was called live in the room also this morning. Okay, so basically, if you'll learn to really see your charts and know where the line in the sand long short is and all that, you'll do quite well in your trading. Because let me fast forward this just a little bit. I'm going to show you another trade that was called in the room live too. And you'll be able to tell when they break what's called your line in the sand long short. Okay. And I'll teach you how to see this because this will make a big difference in your trading. Okay, now just watch. We'll just, let's say that you took all the longs you want and the next one you want is really going to be short instead. Well, watch my charts and see if they don't change directions, because they do. By the way, we were still in that trade. We drew a trend line and we got out of that trade on that trend line break because we like trend lines and we like swings. Okay, let's watch this for just a minute. Where's your line in the sand long short on this chart after what I've been teaching? Well, you've got a micro one right here. See it breaking it? You can short those, by the way. And we'll see that in real time too. Okay, so far you're getting a high, a low, a lower high, right? Now you just got to get a lower low to establish a trend break. There's your trend break. All right, now you're looking for a mid-band trade. There's your mid-band trade rolled over. But if you're a conservative trader, we're waiting for that to change. See that change right there? Now you're looking for a mid-band trade. This trade was called live in the room, and we're just simply wait for it to come to mid-band and give us a nice little mid-band trade. So your mid-band trade, kissed resistance and rolled. And I'll teach you all of this because the one thing in that room that I do every single day is I teach over and over and over my system. And you can do quite well with it, okay? And if you wait for the trade to come to you, you're no longer looking, by the way, for longs right now. You're in short territory. But it will change again. And we'll catch it when it does. We'll catch it every time it does. Okay? And in that room, that's what we're looking for, is that type of trade. There's a little bit deeper trade, but did it roll over? There's a 10-tick trade. Perfect 10-tick trade. Okay? Now we'll watch and see if it possibly changes trends again. You got a low, you got a high, you got a higher low. That seems like it's changing trends to me. See it? 1, 2, 3. So what are you looking for in this case? You're looking for a mid-band or a phantom trade. This is your line of sand long short. And anything above that, you can look for longs. And it's really that easy. We do it every day, all day long, except that I only open the room for the 2 hours, which I think is the best way to do it. Okay? So what I'd like to do now is, how many of you have been in the room for the last few days? And you've seen this in real, there's what we call a phantom trade setting up right there. See that little green dot? Take the trade right there at line 2. Now box it. There you go. You're in it. See it? that trade was also called in the room this morning. We know where these trades are. We draw on our charts, and I'll teach you how to draw on your charts. You can do away with every indicator out there. You don't need CCI and RSI and FBI and ATF and all that. You don't need any of that stuff. Okay, you need Viper, because Viper will get you on the right side of the trade and keep you on the right side of the trade, and you'll make money. Okay, and you'll be in tune with when it changes trends every single time. You know, for instance, did gold change trends? Did oil change trends? Anybody trade oil earlier? I traded oil earlier before I opened this webinar and everything, and oil literally dropped. I'm going back to my chart here real quick because basically oil dropped. I closed the room at 10 o'clock. It kissed a line at 72.35 and rolled over. And I've got that line drawn on my chart, and I shorted that puppy. 35 area, 72.35, that went all the way to 71.23, got a mid-band trade and even went lower. You can't beat this script. I'll show you real quick. I'll just go to a real connection instead of playback, because I wanted to show you mainly what I called live in the room. Okay, I'm going to stop the playback and we'll go to a live connection. Bear with it just a second. And I'm going to go to oil. And I'm going to show you how you could nail that trade that happened on crude oil. See, I closed the room at 10 o'clock. Look at this little trade right here. First, I want you to see if you could get it first, okay? All right. By what I've taught so far, what are we? We're retracement traders, okay? So you had a phantom trade here, which was a nice short, but let's say you just got up at 10:06 in the morning. So you got a high here, a low here, a lower high. So could you draw a line right there? And if it breaks that and kisses it, could you take a short? Well, watch what actually happened. Watch my little mid band. It'll change colors. See my mid band? No longer looking for longs. It breaks, it kisses. See it kiss? And us as traders, it rolled right there at mid band, and you got you a nice little trade. Okay? So you're going to find that you can do this over and over and over with our tools. They're really, really good. Okay? Now, what I'd like to offer you, how many of you have like a Apex account? Just a show of hands. I won't mention your names. And how many of you are funded on them? Few people's names coming in. Good, good. A lot of evaluations though, right? Okay. Well, Apex is offering right this very moment, and my wife is actually an affiliate with Apex, and we have a coupon that you can get their special. Their special is actually for literally 6 more days, including today. And on our website, we've got a code, and you can get 80% off of theirs and 80% recurring, which is really, really good. When they say recurring, that's the best, because you don't want an 80% off on the first month and then go back to normal price. This is 80/80, so it'll stay at 80% off. That gets you a $50,000 type of an account for like 36 bucks. Let me kill this phone just real quick. I'll call them back. All right. Now, what I'm going to offer you today, though, is if you would join up with Viper Trading Systems and become part of the team, I will give you an Apex account just for joining up with us, and I'll knock $150 off our normal price. If you go to our pricing link on our Viper Trading site, you'll notice that we're $3.99 a month. Now that's a reasonable price, by the way, with me calling $1,000 trades literally every single day of my life, because it's done every single day in that room. but I'm going to knock 150 bucks off of that and leave you at that. You can stay that forever at $249 a month. And if you join today, I'll even give you one of these Apex accounts, $50,000 one. And what we have to do, you have to buy it and then we reimburse you. So that way you'll have a $50,000 account for like $36.44, I think it is, tax and all. And we'll reimburse you the price of it. We can't reimburse the tax legally, but we can reimburse the price. So if you come in with Viper, I'll give you an Apex account. You'll come in at $249. I'll call those trades and I'll guarantee you every single day that you will get nicely green because of those trade calls. And if you went over this chart that I was showing earlier, these trades that were called in real time were plenty to get you nicely green, okay? For instance, in the room this morning, we literally went long at this mid-band and got a 10-tick trade. That was a nice monster trade and it kept on going. We called this trade in the room this morning, just like that. If you got this trade and that trade, could you be done for the day? I mean, how many of you need to make $1 million a year or 2 million? Well, that's obviously nobody really does, right? You know, if you're a famous basketball player or, you know, or maybe if you're a crooked politician, you might get, never mind, I won't go there, $1 million a year. But what if you just want to make a couple of $100,000 a year just to stay above the curve? What if you just said, you know what, the average person out there really only makes around, you know, as a family, as a rule, only about $100,000 a year. So what if you could make it trading and just coming into a room every day and take these trades that are called in real time? And a lot of people are doing that. We've got traders all over the world. Been in business, like I said, 13 years. So I've got traders in, you know, even Vietnam. I've got them in Australia. I've got them in New Zealand. I've got them in just every part of the world you can think of. Singapore, Mexico. I've got some people in Mexico, even got people all over the United States, California, Texas, Oklahoma, you know, New Hampshire, North Carolina, you name it. And I do this every day. Charles and I, when we met up years and years ago, at first we were just trading together because I had literally met him online teaching some webinars. But we became such good friends and everything that we developed this stuff over the years. And Object Trader was the final deal that makes it really, really worth having. And that is the fact that you can put boxes on your chart. You can do trend lines. You know, I didn't even show the trend lines, but you know, how many trend lines do you see on charts that you can actually take? You know, they're all over the place. Well, you can draw a trend line and go the opposite direction if you want to, or stay with the trend and get out of your trade based on a trend line. You know, for instance, let's say that you shorted this trade right here. Perfect predictor trade, real time. Okay. What if you shorted that? Well, what I like to do is get my first 10 ticks. I like to let the runner run as long as it doesn't take out that line. But you could even put your stop a couple of ticks in with Object Trader and save some on that runner. What if this decides to still keep breaking? Well, you might get a 100-tick trade. You don't know. We also go by measured moves in the room. I nailed a measured move today to the tick on crude oil. How many of you trade measured moves, by the way? Because we had a measured move on crude oil before the room closed. I called it out live. I said that oil was going to 86. We nailed that trade. Where did oil go? You say, well, how did you know that ahead of time? That's called a measured move. I'll teach you all that. Because when our people got out of this trade, they still rode their runner, but see this low, this high, this higher low, this higher high right there? That's when you for sure get out of it, especially when it hits a measured move. And that type of thing will be called in that room. Did we get that trade? That's a predictor trade. Boom. You know, good 50-tick trade. That's $1,000 trade. Okay. So those type of things will be called over and over and over. But look how our scripts nail it. You had a high, you had a low, you had a lower high. This was your line in the sand, long, short, right across here. So what did they do? They broke it, they kissed. They didn't quite kiss it, but I called that trade on that bar short, and we went short when it broke that support. And what a monster. Okay, so that'll be done in real time. If you even traded ES today, you had some ES trades that were called live in the room this morning. See your high, your low, your higher high. That's kind of a line in the sand. There's your high, your lower high, lower low. That's your break. See where that broke right across there? Could you have taken that trade? That was drawn in the room in real time so that people could take that trade. Did some of our people get this trade though when I opened the room? This trade was called live. This is a mid-band trade, and some of our traders took this, and once they hit this top here and they started pulling back, they get out of the trade. But we also teach a trend line, and a trend line pretty much got you out once you hit that top. Now you got to wait for it to hit the top and you get out on the trend line break. And we've got a tool that'll actually do that for you too. So, and another thing just real quick is I am all about helping people. So if you need any help putting your scripts on or anything like that, I'm available for that. Okay, just as close as a phone call away. Don't have to worry about emails and everything like that. You can just simply call me because I am available. Our contact link is simply right there. That's my phone number to my desk. I have email at support@vipertradingsystems.com. I'm on Skype as Viper Trader, so you can get a hold of me that way too. And come join the team. I'd love to have you. This webinar is just about over. Does anybody have any questions? I'd like to have each and every one of you with me. I'll get you nicely green, then you can turn off the machine. I'll show you real quick. Bear with me 1 second. I'll show you something here real quick, and then we'll wrap. We call trades every single day in that room so that you can get nicely green and turn off the machine. And real quick, on our trade calls today, including the one I took right before this webinar, that's my one of my PA accounts with Apex, an actual funded account, 3540. Okay. Is the boss a new feature, Otis, on your question? Well, boss is actually just the name of the script. Object Trader has just been enhanced so that you can get some of these trades like this. You know, for instance, when I called this trade on crude oil this morning, we actually got in this trade right here at mid-band, and then we added one right here. And then we looked for it to get up to here. That was our target. And then we did a measured move so that we could get out of the trade and see it hit that top right there. You want to take some coin, and then you put your stop in under your swings. Yeah, so boss is basically just simply that we've added some things to Object Trader. Auto region, I've added predictor trades above and below predictors. You can even trade both predictors as far as that goes. If you get in a range, you can trade short on the top and long on the bottom if you want. By turning on the predictor, it'll turn on both predictors instead of just one. When you're in a trend to the upside, you want to use the lower predictor. When you're in a trend to the downside, you want to use the upper predictor. See there, that's a trade on upper predictor. Another one right there. Okay, pretty cool. Okay, so let me put the link in real quick so you can get the special price. Bear with me a second. And I'll put this in the chat log so that you can get this price. Now, this isn't on the website. So to get this special price, you have to click this link here. I take every manner of card that's out there. Okay, bear with me a second. I'll show you this. All right, this is that link right here, and I put it in the chat box. Okay, so you're welcome to do that link right there. You just simply hit it and it goes there. And then right on here, you put in your full name, your email address, your phone number, and you can do it by Stripe or PayPal. Okay, now Stripe is just simply a credit card. PayPal is simply PayPal. Okay, but you can choose whichever way you want to go. Okay, and then once you complete your order, it puts you in what's called an opportunities field that I get on my cell phone even. And the scripts are sent to you automatically. Your login's sent to you automatically. Everything's done automatic at that point. But if you need any help at all, I'm more than happy to help you. Okay, that's $150 off the regular price. It will never go up as long as you stay with us. I've got people that have been on this price for 9 years. We've got members that have literally been with us since day one, and they literally grew with us as far as that goes. I've got some people grandfathered in that you wouldn't believe the price, but that was way back. Can't do that nowadays. But we'd love to have you with us. This is not hard to hit, believe me. When I call the trades in the room, that's literally a couple of contracts for my first trade call, and you're done for the month. And then you can just make money. Okay. Now, be sure though, you have to, if you do the Apex deal, I'm going to give you a free Apex account. If you join up with us, you just simply click on this little link right here. It goes right to Apex's website. Okay. And this is the one I'm giving you is the $50,000 one. It's normally $167 a month. You'll get it for $33.40. I'll reimburse you that $33.40, and you'll have it in perpetuity at that price. Matter of fact, if you even fail it accidentally, if you wait till the next month, they'll rebill you at $33.40 and they'll turn it back on for you, starting over. That way, if you make a mistake and blow an account, because they do have a profit goal that you shoot for, a trailing threshold, which you can't go below. And once you hit that $3,000 and trade for 7 days, they fund an account. And funded accounts, believe me, are good because to give an example on Apex, the first 25 grand is 100% to you, which is huge. And then after that, 90%. So they only take a 10% stipend, you know, so that's great. So in other words, this 35 that I showed you right here, I get all but $354 of that. That's not bad. So I get 3,000 of it. Okay. And if I want to make up the other 300 for the day that they get, I just trade again. Okay. But that's good enough. Once you hit a figure you're happy with, stop for the day. There's always another trading day. One of Charles's favorite things when he was with us was there's always another train, plane, or taxi, automobile. You know, for instance, if you miss a flight at the airport, you think you don't have a way to get the next one, just wait on it. And that's the whole key to trading too, is you wait on the trade to come to you. Okay. Like right now, for instance, let's see where we're at. You had a beautiful breakdown right through here, but what are they doing now? They're heading up. When did they start heading up? Low, high, higher, low, higher, high right through there. Could you have boxed that in and taken a trade long? The way I teach it, you could. Where's your next trade? Well, I would say right there and there. And you could draw a little box and pretty much count on that. Okay. And we do this every day in the room. By the way, where's your target on this little trade right here? Anybody? How about a measured move? fade it a little bit at that top when it gets there. We usually fade it about like that. That way, if you don't get quite to it, you're out of the trade. Okay, but if you got in, for instance, at 73.90 area right here where I drew that line, you're already up 32 ticks. And I know some of you took a trade like that. But look at our new little dots that'll even help you with that. See, for instance, we don't like it until you actually start stair stepping back again, okay? And so when this got this higher low down through here, look at those dots. They'll give you the entry. That one will give you the entry. And those print in real time too. So if I was trading this one, for instance, right here, I'd probably be in 1 contract, 2 contracts, 3 contracts. Or you're not in anything yet, and you're waiting for your first pullback. That's fine too, okay? That's what we're all about. We teach people to see these trades in real time. Okay, so come join the team. This tool right here, my wife would probably take me out and shoot me if she knew how much I paid for this. She has a good idea though, because we've been married 51 years this coming June. Matter of fact, just 7 days from now. But I have spent a small fortune building this thing over the years. And I still spend on it because when I added this auto region, that cost a few $1,000s. When I added these predictor trades, that cost a few $1,000s. So basically I've got probably, just guessing, I think I've got about $80,000 or $90,000 in this little tool right here. But I don't charge you a dime on it. I don't go, well, I've got a better tool now, so you're going to have to pony up. No, I've got so many traders around the world. Good Lord gives me a very good living on my trading, also on my memberships and everything. And I build them tools and I give it to them free of charge. It's all part of your subscription. If I added something that comes to me out of the blue, then we're going to give it to you. What if we decided to make this little tool where it makes a mid-band trade on that little dot right there automatic? That's what we're looking at next. But only when it gets down close to the mid-band. You don't want every one of these. You want the retrace. And that's the key to trading. Okay? Hope everybody enjoyed this. It lasted 1 hour and 3 minutes. Anybody have any questions before I wrap? I will get this recording out to everybody. You heard it. I will give you an Apex account free of charge. Just use my discount code. By the way, if you don't even want to join us, use our discount code and get you a few Apex accounts. Unless you got some other affiliate, that's fine too. But one thing I do with people that use my discount code, I'll help anybody put Apex on, put the rhythmic, program on, show them how to use it, get their login set up and everything, get your Apex just totally running the way it should be. And, show you how to use it with Object Trader and that type of thing. Okay, so where's the link? Let me give it to you again. The link is vipertradingsystems.com. Okay, and I'm going to copy you this link again. And I'll put it in the chat log. Now your link for your Apex account will be simply go to our homepage and use our code. That's our code right there. Okay, and I've got literally thousands and thousands of traders that have actually used Apex. On my wife's an affiliate with Apex, and when I set this up for her and everything, it is just absolutely amazing how many accounts that that guy has. It'll blow you away. My account is 3,014. That meant I was one of the first 3,000 people that joined Apex. If you join today, it's like 67,000 or something like that. It's huge. But they pay like clockwork. I can promise you that. They pay if you hit your figures and everything. They pay the affiliates if you happen to want to be affiliate. They're a very, very good company. I like them a lot. But there's others out there too. Top Step Trader. They've even changed some rules recently where you can't lose an account just because of a drawdown. There's uProfit Trader. One thing I like about Apex, to be truthful though, is once you get funded with them, you don't have to keep paying over and over monthly. You can just pay a one-time fee and then it's your account forever. See, most of them out there, you have to pay a monthly fee to be a part of them because they charge you for a license. Even if you've got a Live Ninja license, they still charge you. But with Apex, a $50,000 account, once you get funded, they charge $140, and that's lifetime. You don't ever have to pay them again. And right at this very moment, I've got 16 funded Apex accounts, and my wife's got 4. They will not let you have over 20. So it doesn't do any good if you try to get more than 20. They won't let you have it. Okay. I'll be your mentor. I'll teach you how to do this every single day. I am the real deal. I promise you that. I don't, blow smoke. I don't say, wow, I'm up $1,000 when I didn't call a trade. I don't do that. I will tell you where we might have missed one. And then some of our people say, well, I got it because it's a trade you teach. That's awesome. But if I miss it, I'm not going to say, wow, I got $1,000 on that one. Well, if I don't trade it, I'm not. And I'll even say occasionally I may miss a real good trade because I'm already nicely green, but I'll say, hey, here's a mid-band trade setting up, box it in. I'm not personally going to take it because I'm, where I want to be, but you're welcome to take it because the trade's set up over and over. Okay, so you got the link, everyone. I'll just put it up in the chat log one more time in the deal here even. Bear with me a second. Here's the link right here. It's vipertradingsystems.com/pricing-3617. That's just a code for this particular monthly. Your trial's a little different. It's got a different code on it, but this is the $249 a month. It'll stay that way in perpetuity. You can quit at any time. We don't hold anybody to the fire. I've got people that, like in the summer, they might take a month vacation. They just quit for a month. They come back though, we'll give them their price again. Okay. How many different contracts do you trade per day? Otis says. Well, I personally like oil and gold. That's my 2 favorite. I call trades on ES, which is the S&P 500, but I don't trade it as often. If I'm trading oil and watching it like a hawk, then I don't really want to trade 3 at once. But you can. Our stuff will do it. But the one thing about trading too much, you'll end up getting drawdown because your trades, they always thrust and retrace, right? So you're going to get a retrace after a while. Like this trade right here, if you took it at like 96, where I would have drawn my line on the chart, and you're up nicely, where would you put your stop right now? Anybody? Well, with our stuff, you don't have to guess. How about a trend line? And by the way, if you were in a trade, you can actually draw that trend line from what's called the wedge. And wedge draws on your chart. You take the wedge like so, put it like so. And let's say that you had 3 contracts in this little puppy right now. You just simply go, you know what? If you touch that wedge, I'm going to take all 3 contracts off. Because see, you could be long 3, and then if you put this at short 3, it'll flatten you out. You could also just use it to scale out too. And you can even do this on the fly. You can even change the angle of it or anything. Maybe you don't want to quite get out unless they take this angle out. You can do that because you can scale in or scale out with this little deal right here. It's pretty cool. Okay, everyone, I know I held you a long time. I apologize for keeping it quite this long. I try to cut them off at 50 minutes to less than an hour. Okay, feel free to call me. I'm available at the phone. I'll turn it back on. I did turn it off during the deal. But simply go to my contact link and give me a shout. Now, Linda's actually gone for a little while. That's my wife. She takes care of the initial letters that you get, so that we can welcome you to Viper Trading Systems. And if you need any help setting up and things like that, I'm available for that. Okay. So thanks everybody for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. And keep in mind that at Viper, I am continually making sure that you've got the right tools to trade with. Okay. These are some pretty cool tools. All right. Made by a trader for traders. Okay. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks.